Welcome back to okay, podcast. Sorry, we're laughing because I was making fun of me rocking a Steven Seagal kind of hair though. But yes, welcome back to Sound Okay podcast. We were talking about everything regarding the life of a musician in the 21st century, not to be confused with the 41st.
Yes.
And today we're gonna be having this conversation regarding the downfall of good quality music, and how it's usually or it's usually thought that TikTok or social media, for that matter, are the main forces behind the destruction of Western civilization. So let's begin from there. So,
Okay.
but before we do
Just
that, introduce yourself. The student rep, and I gotta be self Remini.
Hello.
Who is not rocking a Steven Seagal?
No, I
hair
am
though?
not. I can't pull it off. I think.
Well, I can't myself as well. So I have way more hair than he does. And that's not even a joke.
That sounded awful. So yeah. First, hello guys and boys. How's it going? Very glad to be back. Great to have you here as well.
Yes.
So today we're gonna tackle this minor issue of the downfall of Western civilization.
Yes.
Indeed,
we will. And
Tiny,
how much music has to deal with it?
Yeah.
But
So I think so. I'll even use this to begin the this part of the conversation.
May you?
Yeah,
You may say yes.
because even though we're going to be talking about something from the perspective of music for most of the time,
Yes.
because well, music is the topic of this conversation. I think music is only one of the presentations for the issues, well, the underlying issues at hand
Agreed.
that we're going to be discussing. But I think the whole thing runs a lot deeper than that. So
It does. So let's first elaborate the whole premise of why TikTok is usually seen as one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Satan of our era. TikTok being first and foremost social media. The concept itself is already kind of contagious, depending who you ask, because some people thinks of social media as something that allows for better communication, much deeper and bigger interaction between the different peoples of the world, thanks to the miracle of the internet. Other people just sees it as a way to get your data mined, being sold to dubious forcers, and also for certain triple-letter agencies to spy on you.
Why
I don't
not
know.
both?
It's clearly that it's just one man, because have you seen kumbaya moments happening as of late among the peoples of the world thanks to the miracle of the internet? No. So it's
Should
clearly
have happened at least once.
when it has never happened, because it never will. But TikTok, by definition, it's social media, of course. The thing is that TikTok made itself relevant or different by being a social media that is based on video, of course, like YouTube. And I'm clearly aware that you know what TikTok is, but I want to establish the description of it so we can have a proper discussion further down the line.
Yeah.
TikTok being social media, we already discussed what social media is a video-based social media, but the difference lies on it being based on disposable content. Is volatile and quick, no more than a minute. I think still the cap, right? Or they extended like a minute and a half, something.
Don't know if it's still the cap, but it was for most of its existence.
yes.
Was up to a minute.
The very concept of it was that it was super quick,
Yeah.
and it was fed to you without any form of curation from your part. It was just trying to devise what would be the kind of stuff you would like to see. And of course, you can imagine that leads to plenty of possibilities for the app itself or the social media itself to take advantage of the dopamine rush that comes through your head whenever you find something that you find to be good. And it's even worse when you are the one who's uploading the content and you start to see growth and becoming popular and famous on a platform that is probably ridden with bots or Indians, for that matter, as of late. And with all the respect, but you know what I mean, scammers. Okay, so now, why would you think that could be the one of the reasons why music sucks so much? Where would the parallelism begin?
Look, I think there's an argument to be made when it comes to the diminishing of attention spans and also even the way that music is presented in such environment. First, the whole thing with attention span. I think especially when it comes to Gen Z, which is the generation I think adopted
And even
TikTok.
earlier, younger millennials?
Yeah, millennials, but I think Gen Z is probably the one that adopted TikTok the most.
Fullest. Yes, the most.
You can see a correlation in attention span to the enjoyment of that platform or the use of that platform.
Yes.
Because since you already mentioned the shortness of the format itself that's required to post on that platform.
Yeah, let me check the chat.
Yeah, please go ahead. So let me go this.
Yeah, you were saying?
This.
Yeah, beautiful.
So the format itself already pushes people to become accustomed to consume content that is very, very low in substance and also that is very quick. So being quick creates all sorts of extra problems.
Yes.
The fact that you need to get to the point of whatever you're doing very quickly, it means that you cannot develop a proper idea or a proper concept because, being very honest, how deep of a concept can you explore in the course of 1 minute?
Yeah, how much can you elaborate an idea in less than a minute?
Yeah.
I'm Christian Thompson, great to have you here.
Hey.
Let's, hope you enjoy this conversation, and also the whole point of this is for everybody involved to drop their hat in the rodeo.
Yeah.
Somehow that managed to work. Okay.
Yeah. What are you saying?
No, he's just saying hello.
Oh,
So,
hello.
yes.
I think your light's a little bit too close to you. If you can move it a tiny bit, it's probably
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
go closer
for the
to
best.
sun, but whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
So the immediate and the shortness, the lack of substance of content of that nature.
Yeah.
Do you think that's affecting the way music is being produced today?
I think it affects what people,
The expectation of the audience?
the expectation of the
And
audience.
of course, as a
Yeah.
result, the production of music is trying to meet the expectation of the audience.
Yeah, and on the other side of it, because there's the whole thing with the format being too short, but also the way that it's presented. Because nowadays, and that goes to all social medias, not only for TikTok, music is being treated as a background thing.
Like just noise, right?
Yeah, it's not necessarily something that you're there for the music. Nobody's in TikTok for music. Music is just a part of what makes TikTok.
Get you.
But in the backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
So music is also being treated or being pushed to the backdrop of appreciation. People don't really pursue listening to music as an active activity. Well,
Yeah,
it's kind of redundant, but you get it.
No, but I get you because it seems that from what you're saying, you're making the point of music being the perception of music and its position and the way that we interact to music or with music has changed due to the use of social media. In this case, in particular, TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can elaborate a little bit more.
Go.
You're mentioning that the whole thing with social that music becomes kind of a background activity or something that you don't even actually pay attention to. It's basically passively just there as part of the sound of your life, right?
Yeah.
But what if somebody tells you that plenty of new songs have a breakthrough and have been discovered thanks to their success on YouTube on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Would you use that as a counter to what you just said? And look, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I have many things to say regarding this, but I'm just trying to get the ball there first.
Yeah. Look, I think that for every song that got popular through TikTok, you have another, I would probably go as far as to say 100 million videos where songs are being used in the backdrop, and it's just kind of pushing the value of music to the backdrop as well.
So there you got it. I think this is the actual core of the issue, and Christian here is making a very important comment as well.
Yeah.
I think the issue is slop. Music being produced under the auspices of it being sloppy. Sloppy. It's not good quality, okay? It's just something that is not bad for you, but it's not good either, man.
Yeah.
And here Christian is saying, here that he says that autotune ruins it for him. Much modern pop music uses it. I would even say that they abuse the use of the tool.
Yeah.
And I avoid mainstream radio. I totally get you, man.
As should everybody.
Because he says that they sound like robots. I don't think the issue is necessarily speaking social media per se. I think the issue is slap. I think the problem is the terrible music being produced. And I think that this kind of TikTok or the way that social media developed is just a symptom of a much more bigger and problematic actual illness in our society. Because you mentioned attention spans. have been dropping 100%. That's a fact. And there is something to be said about TikTok and internet in general being a good chunk of what produced that problem.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, bad music has always been a thing.
Yes.
But it has ramped up in numbers and in production.
And in acceptance.
And in acceptance, particularly speaking, in the last 20 years.
Yes.
Because dramatically, of course, because just go back a few years in time. Because, for example, taking on from what Christian said, it has plenty to do with the 2000s as well. Autotune, if I recall correctly, was introduced to the whole music making world around 96 or 97. And I think it was developed by a guy who was working developing sonars and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah,
for real?
it's kind of I don't have the whole details in my head, but it's something akin to that.
Okay.
And the guy developed it and then realized while doing the experiment that actually it made your voice kind of sound funny. And then he used a little bit of quantization, mathematic devices that are used on keyboards and stuff for synthesizers, and he saw that it can actually force your voice to be in pitch, but producing the sound of an autotune, right?
Yes.
And you got, for example, Cher with that song that broke every record.
Believe.
Can you believe?
Yeah.
That one
It's not
was
a song.
no, and the use of the autotune is fun.
Yeah.
It's unique. Is there for you to? Oh, it's just a sound, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's being used for fixing. It's being used as an aesthetic decision.
Yes, and the thing is that later on, during the early 2000s, you started to see pitch correction, which is autotune, but now used in a much more refined fashion. And where do you usually find it? Pop music, clearly, because pop music, especially speaking during the beginning of the 2000s, was mostly vocal based. Think about it.
Yeah.
And what kind of singers do we have? Well, is the tail end of the reign of terror that was coming down the iron fist of the Backstreet Boys, and then later continued by NSYNC. None of those guys could sing, man.
No.
It was clear a show. So, but they had to make them sound not terrible, but in order to sell records and convince girls to go there to the shows.
Yeah.
So they started to produce less quality music, and this is the beginning of the conspiracy theory territory. But think about this: most of what you had to hate of music today was a thing already 20 years ago. Everything.
Yeah.
Because let's say all of the terrible low quality trap, drill, bad hip hop music.
Yeah.
It was made popular in the early 2000s. It's not the result of the modern age. What we got right now, it comes from gangsta.
Yeah.
And gangsta is older as balls, man. It's from the mid 90s at least. Gangsta rap, for you who are not that familiar with terminology. And it's very, very similar to what we got today. It's just
different degrees of the same.
But it's the same.
Yeah.
So you can see that the degradation of the quality of music began way before even the internet was massively adopted. And smoking on Sharp G, on G Sharp. Good to have you here, man. Yes. So what do you think about that? Because this is taking us to tinfoil hat realm.
Look, I think it would be, perhaps the word I'm looking for is naive, to think that the culprit behind music going down in quality is social media, especially thinking that, as you pointed out, and you're 100% correct, this phenomenon has been going on from even before social media was a thing.
Yeah.
So I think we need to look a little bit deeper past that, because I do think that social media played a role, even making arguments for that since the beginning of this conversation, but I don't think it's the cause. It was maybe an accelerator, we can kind of get into that later on, but it's definitely not what's causing the issue.
Yeah.
So what do you think is actually behind it?
I'm not gonna go there, but you might have an idea.
Yeah.
It involves certain people. No, but look, all jokes aside, no, I think I'm gonna try to play the naive and not as aggressive sounding opinion first, and then I'm gonna try to little by little introduce my actual thoughts.
Yeah, getting us there.
Yeah, let's say that it was greed. Okay, let's play it as naive as you can be. Okay. Oh, it's because it's cheaper to produce records, instead of hiring a band that is comprised of 5 talented guys, all of them with their egos, all of them realizing that it is thanks to them, it's not thanks to the manager or the agency, that they are actually good at selling records and stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys, as soon as they have the means, they become a problem for the label, right?
Yeah.
And it's easier to control just one guy that we got out of the jail or out of the ghetto. We keep it happy with wherever he needs to be happy. It's usually 2 things, and they are easily to acquire. And it's the salary of just one guy that will never jump over us because, well, he comes from a background in which intelligence is not necessarily their biggest strength.
Not only that, you basically hold them by the
by
everything.
By the nether regions.
Yeah, because you have everything on him, and basically the same way that you made him a thing, you
Yes.
can unmake him.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So how much of that argument is applicable?
There's such that.
A good chunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is substance to that.
Yeah.
But do you truly believe that that's happening to every single one of them? Do you truly believe that that's the modus operandi for everybody? I can assure you there are cases like that, and a good chunk. But everybody, no, I don't buy it. Let's play another scenario. Why? Music is culture, right?
Yeah.
And culture is, where does it come from? The word cult, which means what we consider the most important, the sacred, okay? So, if cult means that, culture is the appreciation for what we consider to be the most important.
But now applied as a
Applied at a societal level, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, if you use music as a cultural expression, you could, potentially speaking, control the way the culture develops and move the pendulum, the political pendulum, for if you want to go there, or the intellectual pendulum as well, wherever you want, if you manage to control the way culture behaves, right?
Yeah.
Without having to actually throw your head in the whole political game. Don't you think that could be interesting for certain elements of society? And I'm not going conspiratorial. I'm just imagining the money that could be moved based on that. And if you think about it, the music that we grew up with, especially during the second half of the 21st century, is the first time that we got these massive acts that became gigantic, uber popular, beyond any other musician or artist, for that matter, from decades prior or different ages. Because think of someone like Mozart. For as famous as he was, he never became as big as Jesus, let alone bigger than Jesus.
Proven by the numbers.
Proven by the numbers. So that alone already makes you think.
Look, there is playing now my turn to play the devil's advocate. Let's say that on the days of Mozart, there wasn't accessibility.
The flow of communication
was communication, the access to music was a lot more restricted than it is nowadays.
Yes.
Does it play a role in that? Sure. How much of it? Don't know.
Well, look, we're starting to go full circle again, because look, imagine that you are one of the first guys who has access to a mass media, a medium for mass communication. Let's say radio. You're a guy with a cigar, and you have the money. You develop the business. You're an entrepreneur, and there is this crazy Graham Bell guy. Look, I got this idea. Let's promote it. Then you realize, wait a second. Somebody who might be interested in spreading messages could get close to you, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of the conspiracy theories. It's just food for thought.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea with this conversation is to try to see, or try to separate how much our modern state of affairs has to do with how our culture is developing. Because being very honest, I consider the whole thing with pointing your fingers towards what is modern a very boomer talk thing to do. And I'm saying that with all due respect, because it's ignoring what is happening, what happened before, and why the relationship between what is going on right now and what happened before, how much important it is for the development of our current era.
Yeah.
And once again, coming back to the early 2000s, Christian here mentioned the development of the autotune right now. Yeah, Cher was one of the first.
Yeah.
Then the introduction of the pitch correction. Why is that important? We started to lose the human qualities, as Christian here mentioned. They sound like robots, yes. But the thing is that when you do it in a sneaky way, not as an effect, you actually can make somebody who is not good at singing sound that he's an amazing singer. The thing is that you start to develop the hearing. And for example, myself, been doing this whole thing with mixing music and producing music professionally, that you develop, you start to hear the certain tiny minute artifacts. You're starting to even develop the hearing as well, because I point you at those details, and you can hear it even on Michael Bublé, who happens to be a good singer, man.
Yeah.
So why, in the name of faith, someone like him would be forced or would be using a tool like that? Because they tell them that if he doesn't have that sound, he won't sell the records.
Yeah. Or perhaps even to normalize the use of the tool.
And I'm the conspiratorial guy, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you're starting to remove the human element of music, because mistakes are part of the human experience. We are flawed.
Yeah.
The truest definition of a human being is something that is understand perfection but is unable to attain it. Yeah, trademarked.
How so very poetical.
Yeah, look at that. Somebody's been reading Carl Jung. No.
Look, one thing. Well, first, the whole thing with conspiracy theories. I think we should first eliminate, because I think conspiracy theory is a term that is often
it was a term created by the Fed.
It's often used to discredit quite a lot of stuff that can be very real.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually better to remove the blanket of conspiracy theory of things that are basically a given. You were first pointing out at greed, be it for money or be it for power. I'd say thinking that people are greedy enough to do whatever to gain control is not a conspiracy theory. That's a given.
Yeah, that's human nature.
Yeah, so I think from that assumption we can already give a little bit of credit to the ideas that rely on the human being simply being awful.
Yeah, because there are people who are terrible, yes, that's a fact.
So I think it's important to get it from under the blanket of conspiracy theory, because it's a term that's going to be often used to simply, this is just another one of those.
It's being weaponized.
Yeah. So I think this point that's being made here of, because I know that you can take us into more nefarious territories, but let's just call it greed for power, all right? That's already more than enough for people who would have access to control over the flow of information.
Yeah, we don't have to go deeper than that. That's
we don't have to go deeper than that. It would already be more than enough for people to take advantage of, let's say, the means of communication to try to exert control.
Yes.
All right?
But why? Why would you pick something like this? In my opinion, is because, once again, since music is a cultural expression, and culture is what we consider to be the most important, if music being produced in a given period of time has this commonality of being low IQ. And low IQ, I mean lacking in complexity when it comes to rhythm, lacking in diversity of chord progressions, simplistic melodies, terrible to basically non-existent lyrics. And no, I'm not referring to instrumental music. I happen to be a huge fan of instrumental music. No, what I mean by no lyrics is just mumbling, or lack of actual poetry in the lyrics. And this is coming from someone who doesn't consider lyrics to be that important, because we're listening to music, not reading to poetry. But still, if you're gonna put words to the song,
make it good.
Of course. You decide to do it correctly. So, it's the minimum you can do. So this could be a way for people to sway people away from the pursuit of actual beauty or actual self-improvement. Because if we, once again, coming back to the concept of music being something that is cultural and culture being what we consider the most important, if we position or we produce works of content, in this case, that promotes or praises low IQ activities, inevitably the people consuming or listening to that stuff will become dumber.
Yeah, because that's what's being fostered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, am I attacking a particular genre of music? No, I'm not, because you do your own research and make your own decisions.
Yeah.
I have my own biases. You will have yours.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that you are able and capable to make the make the distinction between what is good and what is terrible.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when everything's terrible, nothing is bad.
Yeah.
Get it?
And we ended up losing sight of what.
Because you don't have a reference point.
Yeah.
And for us, it's kind of we got kind of clear the points of reference because we're older, man. But in mind, being a kid growing up right now, where access to the good shit is kind of tough. Yeah. And look, this is the very day of the internet, where we have access to basically everything, information speaking, is available to us, right? But why would you look for something if you don't even have an idea that something exists in the first place? And since social media is very, very kind of attempting to be controlled, how can someone who is trying to look for good music could even find the concept of good music is being hidden from them?
Yeah. But look, this actually takes us to a point where social media might play a factor as well.
Yes.
Because this that you're mentioning, think of TikTok and Instagram, which I think that they're the biggest ones for this format that I'm going to.
There is a short concept.
Not only that, but it's one that you're not active in what you input.
Ooh.
Because
the shorts and the shorts are different, right? On YouTube.
Yeah, shorts on YouTube as well. It's the same.
Oh, it's the same. Oh, okay.
You don't actually look for something because you go on YouTube. How is YouTube as we mostly know it, and people that have been using YouTube for a long time know Search bar. Okay, I want to learn how to fix my guitar. You go, okay, how to fix my crap.
Yes.
And you're gonna find it.
First take it.
Yeah. But nowadays, most of the social medias are kind of shifting towards the algorithm dictating what you consume. So you're prompted with what's supposed to be of your interest.
Yes.
It's not something that you actively pursue. Now, bringing it together with what you were exposing, it creates echo chambers. People simply don't get to the good stuff because the good stuff never is presented to them.
Yeah.
Because the only things presented are the ones that are actually being pushed.
Yeah.
So once again, I don't think that social media is the culprit behind this issue because it has always been a thing, but it's a way more efficient tool at it.
And if you think about it, what you're describing is probably the beginning of a monolithic culture, a monoculture.
Yeah.
Because think we were having a similar conversation in the morning, and I told you back in the day when I was a kid, we got goths. You got your emos, punks, all of those guys, subcultures, right?
Yeah.
And what were they? A culture that was a response to the main culture. Nowadays, those are looked as aesthetics, man. By younger generations. Even Zoomers look at them and they even use this word as aesthetic.
Yeah.
When in reality, they don't even understand the concept of aesthetics. Aesthetics is what is beautiful, what is proportional.
Yeah.
It's aesthetically pleasing, right? And that's why we use aesthetics to refer to the look of something, right? Because even though it might be quirky, it might be weird, it's aesthetically pleasing, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Think if I got chick. I happen to be kind of fan of those, but
I think that's kind of beyond the point.
Yeah, but I'm on it. But whatever. The thing is that if this new generation sees those as just styles rather than movements, that means that we are in a total and solidified monoculture now.
Yeah, because look, think that this is the biggest presentation of things lacking depth nowadays. Because the aesthetics of a subculture, let's call, let's say, the punks, they had a reason for that aesthetic. It was counterculture in its own way, regardless of how you wanna of the origins of the movement. There was a movement. There is such a thing as a punk movement.
Would you call it subversion?
Regardless, there is such thing as a punk movement.
Yeah.
And people from a particular region, from a particular point in time, revolved around an idea. That idea kind of fostered certain aesthetics that those people adopted and became the looks of the punk movement.
I agree.
Nowadays, there's no such thing as a movement anymore.
No.
That's why all that's left is the looks, is the aesthetic.
Aesthetics.
But lacking depth. There's no
Yeah.
reason for it. It's simply cause.
Yep. And if you think about it, where do you think these laws of substance to those movements began? Because I grew up during the early 2000s and late 90s, so I kind of saw and interacted with those movements
Yeah.
as movements still, for as shitty as they were, of course. So come on, don't tell me that emo was a big thing. It was astroturfed. But
But a movement still.
at least there were some principles, for as flawed and stupid as they were. At least they got a point.
Yeah.
Dumb one, but a point.
I think a bit too harsh.
No, whatever. So the thing is that I remember something funny, but I won't be able to say it here. But whatever. Regardless, I think that once again, the early 2000s was the beginning of the end for the countercultures.
They're the last ones I can think of is from that era.
Yeah, but you see how that's the point in which you're no longer a gothic chick. You buy stuff from Hot Topic. Your entire attire comes out of one shop that created products based on a particular aesthetic
Yeah.
that is adopted from the gods listening to The Cure, which is actually coming to you this week, because tomorrow we're going to be releasing a review of a song by The Cure. But you get my point.
Yeah.
It was the commercialization and the kind of synthesis of and the illusion of concepts and movements into fashion statements. And that applies to everything.
Yeah.
Because think of movies, for example. Our movies used to be good, but they stopped being good. When? Last 10 years?
Mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
Let me see. Because let's use the most popular and the easiest to identify example of current era, Marvel. Because in Marvel you can actually see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, actually, good point.
Because we saw the whole development with the MCU and stuff like that. Regardless on where you stand on superhero movies, it was well done.
Yeah.
The beginning was super well done.
At least for a good while, it was a ride.
Yeah, and it delivered. It actually was a cultural movement. That is actually one of the less cultural phenomena that
Phenomenon
I can think
is, but it's not a movement.
Not a movement, a phenomenon.
A phenomenon, yes.
Yeah, and then at a given point in time,
Circa 2019.
They started to almost exclusively to produce slop.
Yes.
The same people,
Formulaic.
behind the same brand, and even following some of the same material.
Yes.
Why?
Let's make this comparison. Think of Iron Man, the first one. It's a good movie.
It is.
Popcorn flick, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Why? Because it's intelligent in its own stupidity.
Yeah.
Because it's not trying to look at this buffoon doing stupidity. No. Tony Stark is an actual human being. He behaves as a slightly larger than a human being character, but is still a human being.
Yeah.
You can relate to him. And that's why Robert Downey Jr. became popular in the first place. Because it's totally me. Kinda, right? An overly hyped version of a particular personality trait. But it is real. And it's flawed. But it's still heroic.
Yeah.
Also, the plot itself has coherency. It's not dumb or is not filtering with and then. Is therefore, as a result.
Yeah.
Everything follows a logical order.
Yeah.
And that is translated into them presenting an homage to your own intelligence as part of the audience.
Yeah.
They actually, the people producing those movies actually respected the people watching. Then watch whatever passes as Iron Man today. It's dumb. They don't even put the effort into it.
Yeah.
Why? Because they think you're stupid. Get me?
Yeah.
You see why? The whole thing with culture promoting low IQ development and low IQ activities has plenty to do with the quality of our music. It's not just TikTok. Because why such a platform that is clearly brain rot and it's just designed to keep you, to zombify you and keep you addicted to a dopamine rush that goes away in seconds, becomes popular because the people were susceptible to such an attack.
Yeah, but that raises the question then, because we already made the point in the very beginning of this conversation that bad stuff, bad music, in the case of this conversation, has always existed.
Yes.
Even on the eras of music that we praise the most, let's say the 60s, 70s, 80s, there was already bad music around. But of course, bad music took a way lesser space in the cultural, zeitgeist than it does nowadays. Why? Why does people now accept so much less than they did a few decades ago?
I think it's because we have become stupider. We're dumber than before. Clearly, our society has lost several points on IQ in the last few decades. Because a slop from the 80s, there's plenty of bad music, man. It's probably the most corporatized era of music. But compared to today, might be a tough battle.
Yes, tough battle.
But you get my point. I'm not putting the 80s or the late 70s as the top of... No. It was a top because some of the best acts ever were active and produced some of the best records ever, right?
Yeah.
But it was also crowded with bad shit and slop everywhere.
Yeah.
The difference is that the cultural relevancy of the bad shit couldn't keep up with the good one.
Yeah.
Why? Because the audience, the people who were there, the culture itself only praised or allowed for the big good stuff to be the one that survived the eons of time. Today, it's even worse than before because we don't have that filter, man. Our society is no longer as inquisitive as it used to be. And even compare it, we don't have to go all the way down to the 80s, 4 years ago. Just go back to the early 2000s, man. If you happen to be someone who plays video games, that's probably, right now, is patient zero, guys, for real. Because modern video games suck monkey balls. They're just terrible, just awful games. And they are charging you thrice the price that they used to charge you back in the early 2000s. And early 2000s is considered by many people the peak of gaming. Because the best, on some of the best games ever, and the most influential, in mine it being like the early 70s, late 60s on rock music, right? Is that like that?
Yeah.
Like that. Banger after banger after banger after banger, heroes and heroes and heroes and legends. Everywhere, man. And 20 years later, sucks.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It was very fast.
In a decade, man, because it started to suck in the middle of 2020 and 10s.
And being very honest, when talking about such a big cultural shift, 10 years is nothing.
Nothing, man.
It's way too little.
So you start to see why I'm putting so much emphasis in the way that our society has actually lost IQ points. And it's permeated and it's actually affecting every single aspect of our daily lives. Because the music that is being produced today, let's play it once again in the naive side of things. It's just a piece in the market. It's just trying to be, the audience is what they are craving for.
Yeah,
We
give it to them.
Yeah, we produce what they are asking for because we want to be competitive. How much of it is real? I'm gonna leave that answer to you. But you see my point, right? What do you think?
Look, it makes sense. But then it raises a new question. If it is the lowering of intellect that is actually causing a lot of this, the overall lowering of the standards on every front, in music is the conversation now, but you can see the same phenomenon replicated on basically anything.
Anything.
So, what's causing the lowering of the intellect anyway?
It's not the internet, I can tell you that. Because we can point at previous eras and you see there might be some form of correlation with certain aspects of our modern society, not several aspects of our modern society, that the internet had a huge impact on it. But the zombification of the masses, I don't think so, man. Because myself, I became good at what I do thanks to the internet, because it was the internet that allowed me to educate myself and become good and learn as much as I can, because I happen to I am a huge defender of the internet because it took me out of the cave. If you think about it, the proverbial allegory of the cave is basically that. And if it happened to me, I am more than sure that it happened to millions upon the world.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the internet, man.
Yeah, and also kind of a doubling down on this more curated version of the internet.
Is that?
But it's more recent because the internet up until let's say like 10 years ago.
Yeah, until certain Orange Man became a thing.
It was a very different place,
Totally.
and even you'll be able to expand on it more than I can because I wasn't that big into the internet up until that point in
But
time.
I was.
But I am aware of what it was, and I am aware of what it is,
Yes.
and it's not the same.
And what has happened to it is like Al Pacino's. No, it's not Al Pacino. It's Marlon Brando. Look what they did to my boy.
Yeah.
It's like that
Yeah.
for real because the internet was wild before, man. It was filtering with bad shit.
Yeah.
And I mean bad like I feel that I lost half of my soul just by watching what I just saw. But also plenty of very good, interesting stuff that actually expanded your mind. And the early 2000s was that tipping point. It was peak internet as well.
Yeah.
So you start to see that it's neither the internet, but you start to go back to that point in particular. I'm not saying that is right after 9/11 that everything went to shit. Okay?
Aren't you?
I'm implying it. I might be saying no, but if you think about it, I'm going to use that as a landmark point because it's basically a point in which the entire world changed.
Yeah.
Our perception of how we interact with the world, even art changed dramatically afterwards.
Yeah.
Why? Because our culture changed that day, like this. The entire understanding of our reality changed, and you decide if it was for the best or for the worst. I'm not gonna. That's up to you.
I think that's kind of clear.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
But I kind of see that point in time as a moment in which we kind of lost a little bit of our innocence as a species, and at the same time we kind of gave way for this sense of independence and freedom due to what we saw and due to what later we as people let the powers that be do with us and the way we interact with the world. And that this could be taken us to dangerous territory on YouTube.
Yeah.
But you get my point.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
I do.
So it's kind of it's a monumental moment because our entire perception and the culture that we lived in was kind of positive if you think about it. Late 90s was super positive. Everything was kind of hoping for the best. The future was like all Chrome-like and
the whole thing with the turn of the millennium.
it was annoying. but it was.
But it was positive.
But from this perspective, it was positive.
Yeah.
Man. It was annoying because you kind of cringe. But probably we cringe at it because look what they took from us.
Yeah.
For real, it's like a completely different world.
Yeah.
And it changed like that, and we started to develop a bigger, a much more cynic, and kind of nihilistic outlook of the world. And I think that's where the beginning of the problem lies.
Okay.
Because when you are nihilistic, you consider everything to be futile, and that futility can lead you into a path of considering everything to be mundane.
Yeah.
That allows for everything is on the eyes of the beholder and blah blah. So objective beauty be damned.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
which is the very core of a lot of these issues that we're
yeah, because intelligence is at the core of if you're intelligent, you can appreciate what is good, right? And one thing, intelligence can be fostered. It's something that you can actually work on. It's like a muscle, and if you spend time developing your muscles, that tells you that you can also spend time developing your mind. And again, I for one, I'm grateful that I managed to live through the era of the internet because that allowed me to develop my mind as much as I have until this point, because I still do. I love to do research, I love to learn, and I love to keep always improving myself, intellectually speaking. And without the internet, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
I could, but it would be harder. And I could be limited by, of course, physical boundaries. But the internet broke those paradigms dramatically.
True.
So I don't think it's the internet, man.
Yeah, look, and even kind of bringing us at least to one of my closing statements.
Yes.
I feel that the internet, not a few, the internet is a tool,
Yes.
and a tool can be wielded by one side or the other.
It has no intent.
It has no intent. It's not good or bad. To point towards the internet and as the source of the problem is letting just people on the other side use the tool while you're relinquishing it.
Yes.
So the best thing we can do is actually understand maybe how the internet played a part on certain things, but if we see it for what it is, something that is devoid of intent, something that you can use it yourself, you can actually make use of it to get out of those bubbles, get out of those echo chambers, because the same way that internet can be used to, let's say, manipulate and to control the flow of information, you also, through the internet as an individual, can have access to basically anything.
How
If-
Luciferian of you. How Prometheus.
No, but for real,
No, I get you.
the thing is that if we only become active users of the internet rather than passive consumers,
Good point.
we can actually take control of
Over what the internet presents to us.
exactly, because the whole thing, and once again coming back to the whole, I used as an example the whole thing about how content is presented on some of the social medias where you don't necessarily have to put an input. I'd say the internet is gonna move more and more towards that.
Clearly.
The internet as a big thing,
Yes.
okay? The internet as it is consumed by individuals, you can do whatever you want with it. And for as long as you don't allow yourself to be just a passive consumer, you should be fine.
Yes, good point. And look, I'm going to take from that as a
Yeah.
closing comment as well. I have a huge problem with the concept of me being called a consumer. I'm not a consumer. I'm a customer. Very big different thing. Because a consumer is somebody who's just passively eating up wherever it's thrown at it.
Yeah.
A customer is somebody you should respect because it is thanks to me that the guy who's selling stuff to me exists and can make a living.
Yeah.
So you'd better respect me. So I please try to convince you to stop letting yourself be called a consumer. You're a customer. You're a client. You're somebody who deserves the respect of the people trying to convince you to give them your hard-earned money. Or time or whatever, because
Yeah.
money is just the token, because what money stands for, it stands for your life. It's spent getting that freaking token. Because if you think about it, in order to earn money, you have to spend time working, right? So when you buy something with money, you're not buying with paper, you're buying with your lifeblood.
Yeah.
That's deep. That's why when they tell you money means nothing, it's everything, you dude. Because it's my life work, man.
Yeah.
So, but you don't have to let the money control you. Just a piece of advice. I went a bit too deep on that one, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Because I think that the beginning of the problem is that if we as consumers stop making ourselves being respected, customers, not consumers, customers, and or people who are on the other end of the production cycle of things, and that applies to movies, music, video games, everything we interact with.
Yeah.
Even governments, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what can we say about that?
Look, this is not a conversation that was ever meant to come up with a this is the solution.
Because it's super big.
No, this is very vast and it's a very complex, as in is a wide web of an issue.
Yes.
So this is a conversation just for us to explore a little bit the different presentations of the issue, trying to come out of it a little bit more enlightened.
Please keep providing some food for thought, man.
Yeah, and it's far from the last time we're going to be talking
No.
about something like this. So, if you think that this is up your alley and you find interesting, or you think there is benefit to actually have this kind of conversations, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, because like that you're going to be notified for...
And please like the videos, because
Yeah.
YouTube is talking about not letting the flow of information go freely.
Yeah.
Now YouTube has implemented a new policy in which on the video count is what allows for videos to be promoted to more people, right?
Yeah.
But now YouTube only counts as a view a video that has a like or a comment, and no, we're not fishing for those.
Yeah.
The thing is that they are forcing us.
Yeah.
And I think it's due to the short content, and also due to the advent of bots taking over because we can even have. How about next week we talk about the death internet theory?
Yeah, I
How
think
it
we can.
affects music business. Damn.
Yeah.
It's a big problem.
Okay. Yeah, I think
My man.
it's a worthy topic to
It is.
tackle.
It is because that's once again return fox gay kind of level.
So we're gonna be here next week because we're here every week at 5 Central on Tuesdays.
Yes, and get your theme foil hat ready for that one because that's gonna go wild.
So anything else?
Yeah, with that being said, thank you for joining, thank you for watching. And as usual, as every single time we meet you, we gotta remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about. And remember that we will see you when we see you. Join our Discord in the description.